Hello my friend, Matt from Best Friends Club here. Today we're going to be doing a track breakdown of my new single, Sax Appeal. If you would like to get all the files for this song, you can actually check out the sample pack, which is in the description or the bio. There's a bunch of different one-shots of the drums. There's different MIDI files, melodic loops, a bunch of cool stuff that you can check out and play with. If you make anything with it, like a remix or some kind of new cool track, be sure to tag me at Best Friends Club. And I would love to hear it and maybe even post it on my thing. Anyways, now we're going to jump right into Ableton and have a look at the breakdown. Cool, so this here is the project file. And we'll kind of just go top down, give you a little look-see of what the kick drum sounds like. It sounds like that, pretty simple stuff. Basically this is just a 909 sample, not a whole lot going on here. Basically, it's just the 909 sample, actually. It's getting sent a little bit to a saturator, which is on the bus here, which I'm just using the Ableton saturator. Not too crazy stuff going on there. Then one of the next things is the hi-hat tops, which you can see right here. Getting over here, you can see it's being sent to the reverb a little bit, and the delay a little bit, and the saturation as well. Again, nothing too much going on over here. I do have a channel strip that I put on everything. And I've cut out some of the lows, I've side chaining a little bit, and I'm also removing some of the highs. And that's one of the hi-hat tops. Then there is another hi-hat loop with very similar processing going on to the hi-hats here as well. Just a little bit more wet with everything and a bit more aggressive with the low cuts. That's kind of how that sounds. Whoops. Then we also finally have in the drums area, we do have a top section, which is kind of hi-hats, a bit of a upper end of a kick, and yeah, a snare as well. Nothing too crazy, a little bit of reverb, a little bit of delay, getting a bunch of the lows cut out, nothing too crazy. And then some shakers come in. I use the shaker on basically everything. It's very low in the mix, comes in a little bit stronger there. A lot of the lows are removed, nothing too crazy. And then finally there's a ride, which slowly swells up in volume. And overall, the drums kind of sound like this. So pretty full, pretty decent. One thing is I always make these all yellow, because that's how I do that, but whatever. Then moving on to the bass, there's two sections where there's the sub, and the sub is just kind of like a, basically just a sine wave with the octave down quite a bit, and it's side chained like wild, and has a lot of the highs cut out because there is kind of a mid bass, high end bass, which sounds like this, and it is, I believe, a electric bass guitar from like a preset from a plugin called Trillion, which is from Spectrasonics, which do Omnisphere, and they basically have a bass plugin like this, which is amazing. So altogether, this kind of sounds like this, and it goes against the kick pretty dang well. Moving on, there is a kind of a Wurlitzer patch that I played in. I think it's a sample. Yeah, it's a sample that I kind of chopped up. It sounds like that, and then go through quicker. Here is the main saxophone sample, which is essentially just a cut up. As you can see, it's quite cut up here. So that's in there as well. And a little bit later on, some pianos come in, which kind of sound like that. It's basically just a loop playing, nothing too crazy. I just side chaining it a bunch, cut out a bunch of the lows, and probably doing a similar thing where, yeah, there's a bunch of reverb it's getting set to, delays, and saturation as well. Also underneath that is a 909 roll, which I use in a lot of my tunes, so right now it's nothing. This 909 roll is also in the sample pack, which is kind of cool. And that just builds up. And there's one cymbal crash, sounds like this, with a bit of processing on it as well. And the same thing, but reversed, and I have this in there as well. Very cool. There's some ambience, people on the street kind of crap. Sounds kind of cool, just add something to the vibe of the whole tune. And then finally, one of the last things is this ARP. which I believe is just one chord. Yeah, it's a chord getting sent into this Dr. Chaos thing, which is like an arpeggiator that kind of makes it a little bit more random and makes it more of an arpeggiator. There's an omnisphere sound, and one of the cooler sounds that are happening in this is it's getting sent through something called the Crystallizer, which kind of makes it it's just a weird delay that kind of pitches things up and pitches things down. So I'm using a, whatever the hell that is, a bottle cap Zimbra spork for that sound. And now you can hear just the Crystallizer kind of coming through. That was beautiful. And then all together, it kind of sounds like this. Cool. And yeah, that's basically the song. I'm not really good at doing these breakdown things, but I figured I'd give it a try. If you want to play around with these sounds, there's a sample pack in the description. And cool, thanks so much for checking in, and I'll try to get better at these.